Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, along with Kathy and Lorraine, here for Ask a Crafter, Episode 2, Season 3, Fancy Shirts, we're ready to roll. Okay, you got a question ready to go? Or a
oh
comment?
yeah, I got one, it's perfect. Andy Coke says, looking forward to it.
Woo! Awesome, that's you, Andy, thank you very much. I've got comments and questions in the big old jar of questions. Fuller by the minute.
R.A. Landry. Hello, nice to see your happy faces again. I bought some cloth tape for wrapping sprains. I tried stamping on it and had limited success. Any suggestions? It is inexpensive and very bendable and strong.
You know what I like to use the cloth tape for? Hinging my artwork to my mats when I frame them, because it's really strong but very removable as well. I did not have good luck making my own like decorative tapes with it because it would be very fuzzy to stamp on. I found I preferred to use deli paper and then use a glue stick and make my fake tapes that way, or use sticker paper. But as far as the cloth tape, it's very strong and removable. I use it for hinging my artwork to mats. Yep.
All right, Willie's mom 1 says, well, this was a wonderful way to wake up.
She's talking about the promo. She's talking about our crazy circus music promo.
Yeah, I've been waiting with bated breath. Okay, that might be a little overkill, but I'm so happy to see you there, all 3 coming back.
Yay! Did you go through and pick out all the good comments?
I folded them all.
Tania and Gary Smith. I'm getting some watercolor pencils, brand new to this. Where's a good place to start with very first things to color? Any suggestions?
I would start with anything with big open areas, like if you had like big flowers, anything that you've got like a nice large area that you can get in and color with. You can use rubber stamps, or you could actually just kind of sketch them out with like a waterproof pen and color them in yourself. Just play, get used to it. Don't worry about wasting paper or wasting time or wasting your pencils. The pencils are going to last a long time. They really go a long time. So just start playing with them. But I like large florals and large images to color in to begin.
Okay. Rosie P said, hi ladies, so glad to hear that you all had a good vacation. I'm so glad AAC is starting up again. My question is, do you have a recipe for homemade texture paste?
Yeah, I like to use silicone caulk from the hardware store, the white paintable silicone, white paintable latex, not silicone, the latex caulking. If you want some grit, some more, if you want to have like a sandy texture though, you can add some of the, right from the hardware store, the grit that they make for, they sell for putting on like stair treads and mixing your paint for stair treads, because it's designed to be mixed in with paint. Mix it right in with your caulking, you can have a kind of a gritty texture too. So, yeah.
Okay.
Shekina Freddy.
Oh, you got some good names.
How do you make clear stamps sticky?
Simply wash them with some like Dawn dish soap, and that will restore the stickiness.
Really? The stick down part?
Yeah, it's because it picks up dust and lint and embossing powders, different stuff like that, and then it doesn't want to stick to your blocks.
Okay. Sassy Cat. Oh, I like that name. Sassy Cat. Hot glue question.
She's sassy.
Are all hot glue sticks the same? Is it really glue or just plastic? Which hot glue gun do you use, and where do you buy your glue sticks? I'm so glad you girls are back. I love Ask a Crafter. Love Sassy Cat.
All right, well, no, they're not all the same. There is hot glue for fabric, there's hot glue for wood, there's hot glue for
really?
foam, different stuff. Yeah, I just usually get the general purpose hot glue. And yeah, it is basically a meltable plastic, a low melt plastic. And I recommend a Shore Bonder dual temp gun. And I was just in Joann's the other day, and they had them for $10 regular price, like $9.99. And I like it because it has a high and a low setting. So if I'm gluing stuff like styrofoam or plastic, things that would melt with a higher temperature, I can use that. Or if the kids are using it, my kids love to play with a hot glue gun, I can keep it on the low temperature. But if I'm working on a project like a piñata or a float for like a parade, and I need to have a lot of glue ready fast, I can switch it up to a high temperature and be good to go. And also in the winter it gets really cold in my studio, so I need it on high temperature just for basic tasks.
Really?
But Shore Bonder, it's red, it's $10 at Joann's. I think it's more other places, but
I didn't know they had them now. I have 2 different glue guns because...
yeah, 2 temperatures. They take the same
that's
standard
great.
larger stick. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't bother with those little tiny things. Those are junk.
Yeah.
You gotta press the glue through with
But
your
if
thumb.
you have them and they still work, you just can't throw them away.
Yeah, of course not. The crafter's sickness. Can't throw anything away.
Oh my gosh, Billy.
Now look at my room. I'm an example of it.
Gavi asks, so glad Ask a Crafter is back. My questions are, I never seem to be able to get a paper cutter to cut evenly. I have the same.
Okay, I think we better take these one at a time. Is that the full question?
No. Whether it be a guillotine or rotary, etc. Which mid-price trimmer will give me an even cut?
Okay, I just think I must not be too particular because I've heard you complain about paper cutters.
Yeah, I'm not particular either.
I have an Exacto.
It
You
just
want to
goes-
pass me my big paper cutter, but be careful because the blade is really sharp.
This one?
Yeah.
Whoa, this is a killer.
Yeah, this is a guillotine style Exacto. I paid $24.99 or $22.99 at Staples probably about 15 years ago. I use this every day. I love it. It'll cut 1 sheet of copy paper. It'll cut 10 sheets of cardstock. It's great. It's nice and sharp. I never have to replace a blade. The only thing that has gone bad over the years is that the blade has somehow separated a little bit from the edge, so I have to add a 1/16 of an inch. So whenever I'm going to cut something, I have to mentally add a 1/16 of an inch and slide it over.
Do you
just a
remember
little.
that every time?
Well, I wrote it on there with a Sharpie.
Oh,
So
like I read that every time.
so I think that would drive her insane, but I compensate for it. But I think I'm also not as particular as most people. And I also have, but it's discontinued, the Cutter Peed fold-up trimmer that I keep in my scrapbook bag by EK Success, but it's discontinued.
it's not
like
out there,
$50
really?
if you want to buy it, or $100, $50.
You're kidding.
Yeah, because it's discontinued. So people that have it, there's a limited amount.
Wow.
I think EK Success has a newer model that takes the same shuttles and stuff, but and it's a different color. It's maybe they fixed the problems that people have had with the other one, but I really like the EK Success. It's a rotary cutter, and that goes in my bag, but I like that because I never have to replace a blade. So I just keep the other one for going to crops, because that way, I'm not using it every day, so it's not going to dull the blade that much. And I've never had a problem with it. I think I might just not be as particular as some people. They might never find the perfect cutter. I don't know. You're particular. What do you say?
Well, I haven't found one, really. I mean, I sew, so I have a cutting mat and a rotary cutting blade and a metal ruler. So if I'm really that
Oh my gosh, you use it.
anal about the cut, then
Wow.
I can use that and know it's straight. But I have the Cutter Peed. I have a Fiskars slide rotary one, which uses the same blades as the rotary cutters for sewing and
Oh,
stuff.
does
And
it
you can get the
really?
wave and
Oh,
waffle.
I didn't know that.
Yep. And it's it's not bad. It's not too horribly off. I just try to be really careful with the Cutter Peed, because you put it down and you can kind of shift it a little.
You have to
There's
hold
a
the- you
little
have to
bit,
hold the
and
guard
you just have
down.
to set it and make sure that it's setting straight, and hold it, and just kind of let it go.
yeah. Be less picky. That's my advice. Because nobody's gonna care.
I
It's
don't
a little
know
bit
the
off.
name of mine, but it's you change the mat, the little strip of
Yep,
mat.
yeah, so
I really like that.
I think it's probably a Cutter
The
Peed. I think
Cutter
that's what it is.
that what
Peed
it
is
is?
like that,
It just rolls down.
Yep.
You can change the
Yeah.
blade
Yep.
to different.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and you can like flip the mat this way, or flip it over and
You have
then
to
flip it.
get
So you get like
more
four
uses out of it.
runs on it.
Mine you can only get 2. Yeah.
Try flipping. We'll look at it the next crop.
Okay,
We might
I'll
be able
bring
to
it.
get you a little more
Okay.
use out of that.
And her second question: if I have watercolor pencils, twinkling H2Os, pan pastels, alcohol markers, color sprays, should I invest in India inks? Do they have some special property that is unique and therefore worth investing in, even though I have all of these other products?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, India inks are permanent water-based ink, so I think you'll probably get by with what you have, but it is different than the other products you have. So it's not like you'd be duplicating. I think the thing about India inks as opposed to like markers or watercolor is that they tend to stay on the top of your surface of your paper a little bit more, and they have a little bit of a gloss to them, and they just seem a little more vibrant, like in your art journal and whatnot. But whether that's worth going out and spending $30 on some inks, that's up to you. I think you could really you've got a lot of supplies that you can
got
do.
some good stuff.
Yeah, no, probably not. But I have all those things.
I disagree with her, but I'm a terrible enabler. If you really want to make the decision, I think you probably should watch, if you haven't already, watched the videos where you do the multimedia journaling, and she uses the India inks quite a bit in that, and they're wicked cool. So I I think they'd be, give you something different to play with. But obviously don't bankrupt yourself. And like she says, you can do so many things with what you do have.
Yeah.
But they are very different from the other things that she has and uses. And they seem to be really cool. And, save up for them, use a coupon.
Yep.
Put them on your Christmas list.
Yep, that's right.
Kelly G. I just tried a product.
Oh, you're still. Oh, gee. Oh my gosh. I'll stand in between these two so they don't start fighting.
Question 3. Is the Xyron Mega Tape Runner considered an ATG gun?
I don't think so. An ATG gun is a brand. It's automatic tape gun. I believe that's what it stands for, by Scotch or 3M. It's its own thing. Xyron's a different company altogether. It may be a comparable machine, but they're different. They're not the same thing.
Okay, number 4. Is it worth investing in the Tim Holtz stapler, or is it just another product that costs more because it's a Tim Holtz product, but nothing really great about it? Sorry, I have so many questions. Thanks for your time. Love the show.
I think the Tim Holtz, I wonder if it's a regular stapler or if they're talking about the tiny attacher, because a tiny attacher is a teeny tiny staple gun. So if you want teeny tiny staples, that's the only teeny tiny staple gun I know of.
Yeah.
But if it's a regular staple gun, I think it's just
a
a staple gun. Yeah.
If it's not a long that you can go way into the paper with.
Wouldn't it be great to be Tim Holtz? You could put whatever you put your name on anything.
And it would just sell for a lot. Yeah, that would be great.
Awesome.
Remember when
Keep
they
working
said
on
the
that.
stamp
Yeah.
show, the first stamp show we went to? That was...
Yeah, they said the guy at Martha's
yeah.
paper. Maybe we should say that.
Yeah, you should share.
Yeah, he said, I've said it before, he said Tim Holtz could poop in a bag and you guys would all be falling over yourselves to buy it. I think everyone was kind of chasing him up a ladder at that point because he had some Tim Holtz stuff to give away.
Yeah, it was door prizes.
Yeah.
On Tim Holtz, and everybody was racing towards it.
He had a lot of door prizes.
Yes, he did. Love Marco's paper.
Is it my turn now?
It's your turn.
Kelly G. I just tried a product
We need a
called
talking stick. We didn't pass the talking stick around.
Gamsol, Gamsol,
Yep, gamsol.
with my color pencils. I know it's odorless mineral spirits, but I'm unfamiliar with its uses other than using it to blend color pencils. Can you fill in the blanks a bit about this product? Is baby oil just as good as some claim? Thanks.
Well, gamsol was originally designed as a paint thinner, and that's how I knew about it, because it was Gamblin's brand of odorless mineral spirits. It is a truly odorless mineral spirit, and I was paint thinner. It was, I was very surprised, because I just got my first little thing of gamsol a couple weeks ago, and
Really?
I would think it was water, and that scares me a little bit.
Yeah, I know, but it's great.
I think it's a great product,
but
but that scares me because I have children.
Yeah.
And I would worry about them. I mean, my kids are old enough to read, obviously,
Right.
but I would keep that capped up, and I wouldn't put it in anything other than its original container, just because it does not have a smell. And that kind of scares me, but it doesn't mean there's no fumes. It just means it's odorless. But it's a great product, and it dissolves the wax in your colored pencil so you can move the pigment around. Baby oil works really well. I like them equally. But baby oil is an oil, so you're going to have more of a creamier blend with it, whereas Gamsol is a thinner, so it's going to more dissolve it. So you're going to have more watercolor with it would act more like a watercolor pencil. If you use a Gamsol, it'll act more like an oil pastel or a oil paint with the baby oil, just because it's thicker versus thinner. It's up to you what you want to use. I would say it would depend on, if you're using, if you're on a dark paper, baby oil would be better because it would keep the colors a little more opaque, I think. If you're working on a light paper, like white or cream, it's going to thin everything down, so it gives you more of a wash, so you're better off to use that on a thinner paper. But other than that, I think, it's up to you. And you don't have to, there's no rule saying you have to use solvents. You can just use a pencil by itself.
Didn't you say, too, that once you use the baby oil, you can't color back over
That,
the top
yes,
of it? Can
that's
you do
true.
that with
Yes, you
Gamsol,
can
or
go over it with a Gamsol.
Okay, so that's something else then.
More than you can with the baby oil. Once you put the baby oil down, you can't really get the pencil to stick on top of it, but you can a bit with the Gamsol. It will make it a little slicker though, because it's kind of leveling out all that wax, and it's going to give you a slicker surface. So,
Scrapbooking with me. I would still love some info on laser cutting machines for cutting MDF, acrylic, chipboard, etching glass, etc. I asked this last year, but I guess it got missed, and that's okay. You guys were so busy. I just have no clue what machine to search for, where to look, cost, etc. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Edith.
Well, Edith, I have to say that is out of my breadth of knowledge. I don't really, that's a commercial machine, and I can recommend some brands that I've heard really good things about. Click and Cut being one of them, Black Cat being another one. I would check out some of the. You'll definitely want an industrial machine because that's. I don't even.
MDF, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, they do have the. Because
That's
you know in
amazing.
the craft stores you see those the balsa wood like
Yeah,
die
yeah,
cuts.
yeah.
It's done with like the laser cutters,
Oh.
and I really don't know anything about those machines. So I think you need to find a sales rep from one of those companies and have them talk about the different kinds to you. And it's not going to be cheap. I mean that's a commercial
It's
machine.
an investment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be
Business
thousands, I
investment.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Edith. I can't help you out on that. I would hate to point you towards something and have it be a piece of junk because I don't know anything about those machines. I have a very basic die cutter, and that's about it. So sorry.
Okay, Doris Today 1 says, "Hi ladies, I have a question. I would like to make a scrapbook for the very first time. Where do I start? As I don't want to buy the whole shop, as tempting as that
Yes,
is,
you
though."
do. Yes, you do.
Gosh, where to start? There's a couple more about. You want to answer that one first?
Yeah, sure. So basically what you're going to need is a scrapbook, an album. I highly recommend a D-ring album. Those are the kind of like
Yes.
an off-supply binder because it's easy to put your pages in and change them around. The other styles are kind of aggravating. I recommend We Are Memory Keepers brand, and they'll be a little more expensive than other albums, but it's worth it. I scrapbook probably 100 pages a year, and I can get them all in one of those binders. And they stand up to the kids, dragging them off the shelf and looking at them, which they do all the time. So you want your
is
album
good.
to
You
be.
want them.
Yes,
You want them
yes.
to use
That's why
it.
you're doing it.
Yeah.
To last,
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
You want it to be durable.
You're going to need page protectors, and I recommend getting some plain ones, the 12 by 12 protectors, but also getting some pocket pages. And Project Life is a good quality, and it's not that expensive for the page protectors. Their albums I don't care for, but their page protectors are really good. They have a multi-pack which gives you it's 6 each of 10 different designs.
Yeah, it's 60 pages.
So you can actually, I'll grab my book. I organize my pages in there in the pocket protectors, and some I will scrapbook out and some I'll just leave. So this is the We Are Memory Keepers album. This is for 2014. I love this color. I actually grabbed Project Life one and I hated it. I gave it to the kids and I went back and got one of these. So let me find one where I've done both. Okay, so here I've done just a regular 12 by 12 layout, but then I took the pocket pages and I stuck the extra photos in the pockets, and then just cut a couple pieces of pattern paper to make it fit. I don't want to conk anybody out with this, but so that way I keep all my photos organized in these pages too until I'm ready to scrapbook them, so they can still be enjoyed, and I can clearly go through and see what I want to do and where my photos are, and then sometimes I decide it's good enough just in the pocket pages.
Yes.
And I don't feel like scrapbooking them. So that gives you your storage and your album all together. So Project Life pages and We Are Memory Keepers albums, and then you'll want some basic colored cardstock. Absolutely, definitely. So I would just get like a multi-pack. You can get them at like Joann's. I like the die cuts with the textured cardstock. That's really nice. And then I would buy some pattern paper that you like, and I would get a stack of basics with polka dots and stripes and plaids and the stuff that's not going to go out of style in 5 months. So
3 weeks.
3 weeks. So you have a basic, and you have a basic supply. You're going to need some pens to journal with. But other than that, and some adhesive. I like the double stick tape by 3M. It's in a yellow. It's photo safe. It's in a yellow package. To begin with, because you can fit all that in a bag. You can carry it up to the kitchen table when you're ready to work.
Yeah.
You can take it to a crop with you when you want to work with your friends. You'll be surprised when you start looking around your house at different things you can use for embellishments, like tags off your
true.
clothes,
Yes.
yarn, things from other crafts that you enjoy. Don't go crazy and buy the whole store. You could always add more embellishments later. You can print off cute little clip art from the internet and cut them out and put them on your pages. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but you will need cardstock, you will need page protectors, you will need an album, you will need pens, and you will need adhesive. And I have a Scrapbooking Basics video series you can check out. I'll try to remember to put a link below. If not, just go to my channel and look for the scrapbooking playlist, and that will give you a lot more information on that.
Paper cutter and some decent scissors too.
Yep. So good scissors. You can get by with a X-Acto knife and a ruler.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first, to see if you like it. Don't
Exactly.
invest in a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you will like it.
And there's nothing worse than spending a lot of money and then being paralyzed by I don't want to waste any of this.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. Where to start.
Exactly. Start small
start.
and buy little by little.
Yeah. Okay. She says, I also hate to say the Christmas word, but I would really, there's only 98 days till Christmas, by the way.
Ooh, my
But I
goodness.
really would like to make some homemade gifts this year to go with my watercolor cards. Any ideas? You guys are great and so enjoyable to watch. Can't wait for the show.
You just sew a long rectangle of fabric. You put some white rice in it. You sew it up, and then you just microwave it for a couple minutes in the microwave. They're great hot packs. Make tiny ones for hand warmers. Those are my favorite handmade gifts because they actually get used. They're not just tossed away.
And you can freeze those too.
You can freeze them too for cold packs, and add a cute little hand stamp tag and write down microwave for 2 minutes, and you're good to go.
Yep.
And I think that's going to be just about all the time we have today.
Oh.
Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Leave your comments for next week's show below. And as always, happy crafting.
Happy crafting.